Thank you, Judge and Commissioners and County staff. My name is Tom Mullins. I'm with the Tyler Economic Development Council. I'm here today with Felicia Herndon, who's our VP of Finance, and Michael Jenkins. Michael, hold your hand up. He's the HR manager for GG Distribution. GG is a distributor of beverages in the 30-county area of Texas, although that name stands for Giglio and Glazer, and they're actually in 13 different states, but they're based in Texas. We've been talking to GG's for a couple of years. They originally approached us in 2014 because they had an interest in consolidating their distribution facilities that were in East Texas. They have some in Palestine, Longview, they had a small operation in Nacogdoches area, but nothing in Smith County. And they were looking at either consolidating in Smith County or Gregg County. We put an incentive package in front of them 2 years ago for them to consider Smith County. They then got involved in an acquisition, and we ended up reconnecting with them this spring. They are now, they've now decided on a building in Smith County that was the former U.S. Postal Service bulk mailing facility up in the East Texas Center, Oldtown area, near State Highway 155 and Interstate 20. That building was occupied for over 20 years by the Postal Service. It was not on the tax rolls because of the public status of the operation. And it's been empty for about 5 years. At one point, we had over 300 people working in that facility. The Postal Service closed all those facilities down nationally, and so it's been empty for a while. GG's has decided that that's the building that'll work for them, but although it's not big enough, that's a 100,000 square foot building. They have acquired some additional property there, about 15 total acres, and they are proposing to add another 100,000 distribution space for their operations that will consolidate everything East Texas and serve that 30-county area. On September 21, we met with the Smith County Abatement Advisory Committee, which Judge Moran serves on, and they recommended a 5-year abatement at 80% on a $15 million investment that would create 160 new jobs. And as an incentive, to add an additional year of abatement if they hit 185 new jobs. So that's the project that's in front of you today, and I'll stop there and try to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Mr. Mullins. What questions are there from the court with respect to the overall project?
That should be a great location, that close to the interstate and all. Thank you for consolidating in Smith County.
Yeah, and think of all the new jobs that we have coming in Smith County.
Mr. Mullins, Mr. Smith, just by way of procedural question, do we need to set a public hearing first before we do any other further action on this item?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there a particular date when we need to set that hearing, or how much time frame?
I think we could have that set up in conjunction with a court date, so 2 weeks out.
Well, typically what we've done in the past is just go into public hearing at this point, but
if that's what we've typically done.
That's what we've done in the past, unless you have some kind of legal notice that you have to do now. But typically we've done the public hearing and asked for any input and then put it back on the agenda for your review and action.
Yeah, I don't think it was noticed today for a public hearing, so we need to notice that for next week for a public hearing, and I apologize for that, Mr. Mullins. That's noticed on my part there, but I think we need to do the public hearing first before we do that, and it wasn't noticed as a public hearing item today. It's just to set it was noticed to set a public hearing today, so I apologize for that miscommunication. So we need to set that for next week on the agenda, to set it for a public hearing next week, and then go forward with some action after that.
Okay?
Okay.
I apologize. My only concern is we have it set for public hearing, but we also have it set to adopt or order creating investments, reinvestments on.
Right, which we cannot do until we set the public hearing. That's right. Yeah. So that's what we're going to have to do, is just set it for an actual public hearing next week.
All right.
And deal with that next week.
We'll be back.
Okay, all right. Any questions about that? Anybody else? Anybody disagree with the timeline on how we're gonna do that? Okay, I think that's what we need to do.
All right.
All
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.